Man, you stinky freaking blah blah blah. Hey yo. All right. Well, thank you for the croissant, and I think we're back. All right. That was weird. And dead. Yo, I don't know what happened. Um, internet being weird. You know what I mean? But we're back. All right. Anyways, that's my bad. I know. I'm sorry. Internet's weird. You know what I mean? We're so back. Yo, W back. You know what I mean? Um. Anywho, yeah, that was so annoying. I don't know why I did that. Yo, internet's stupid sometimes, you know what I mean? Anywho. No, but that being said though, it's kind of expected that thank you. It's kind of expected, it's okay to me. Eventually Cess will stop breaking your stream. How about now? My stream. No, I joke. He's there, he's there, he's chilling. Stop. He's there. He's there. He's there. Listen, listen, listen. All right.
Yeah, boy.
I'm just saying. So anywho, yeah, I'm expecting the lore implication to boop me again, bro. I swear on so many levels, bro. I hit my cheek one more time with that boop. I swear on levels. Yo, can I get a ban on that guy? Stop booping my nose. All right, I'm gonna ignore you. All right, anyways, so no, I'm kidding.
Yeet? What's a yeet?
Yeet.
Yeet. All right. Damn, you lost a lot of. Damn, that's a lot of points lost, bro. Holy shit. Gamblers. Oh yeah, you can gamble points, so have fun with that. But no. So after that happens, in my mind, I think the spoiler that we're gonna see at the end of 7.3, if we get to that point, is that it's gonna be like, oh, Calix is dead. Ugh. I mean, thank good riddance. Like, who gives a crap? All right. This person, however, is pretty interesting in terms of the situation. Elon's waifu. Hey, yo, what's up? Welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome. We're talking about FF14 Dontra lore. So if you're not up to speed on the story mode, earmuffs, I would say, because we're talking about spoilers. My stream just crashed, which was weird and annoying, but like we're back. You know what I mean? So what's up? She said, "Oh," but yeah. I'm expecting there to be a moment where the big bad that's actually involved in Donchio's storyline to get revealed at the end of the patch, and then they're gonna be like, "Oh, yeah, this is only a small testament of what we're working on. We got like bigger plans." And you know who I think it is? I think it's the mother. I think that is baby boy's mother, because yo, experimentation gone awry is crazy talk. You know that there's a mad scientist that's in the midst of that area doing God knows what, and we had never even seen that girl since they revealed that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's the mother. I don't care what people are saying about it now, because for some reason people are like, oh, by the way, like the mother already, and I'm like, no, like, yo, I'm genuinely concerned that the scientist is we're gonna start feeling emotions when we find out who the mom is, type shit. If it is involved. But like, again, I have no idea. Uh and then the final patch, we kill the mother. And then we kill the mother, and then we find out that the mom had like a little thingy, and then it's like a little symbol thingy, and you're like, what the fuck is that? And then we gotta go travel to some other location, and then boom, we gotta go investigate. Dark Zone, what's up, bro? How you doing? What's going on? But yeah, my money is it says his dad, because he has a lot of the dads in it. I mean, hey yo, you know what I mean? Now here's my thought process though, because granted, because if my memory serves collectively, and I'm smart about it, um there's no king of Alexandria. Now, granted, here's the thing though, because here's the thing. The king of Alexandria died before the events of FF9 in FF9. If you don't know the lore of FF9, that's a tidbit of information for like a prologue thing. There were at one point a king and a queen, and the king dies in FF9 before you even FF9. So in case you don't know what FF9 is, whatever, that's what it is. So my thing is, if this game wanted to be that game, the king is somehow involved in the bullshit. Somehow involved. Even though we ain't seen like a lick of the king anywhere. There's no king implications anywhere in Dawntrail, but I'm sold that there is conceptually a king boy just dead in like the hyperbolic time chamber in the back, and he's sitting at the bottom of the freaking castle. That's my whole like wild theory. Because it never made sense to me that the queen was like a thing without there ever being like a king thing, even though heavily lore implications of FF9. The problem though is they've never actually explained any implication about a king. That's why I'm kind of like, yo. So I mean, again, the curiosity kind of hits me though. Based on that, can I throw on that? Yo, boot my nose again. After all, yo, I'ma bite your finger off, bro. I mean, technically, our tiny lizard boy is king at the moment. I know it's not the same, but yeah. I mean, for sure. Yeah, again, but yeah, I understand that though. Like for sure. Yo, go get a new finger now. Go call your insurance company. All right. But yeah, so I know that he is the new king, but that's the problem though, is that because the thing is that when we defeated Sphene, people were like mourning over Sphene, and they were like, "Oh my god, there's more Sphene," but then there was another Sphene. So in my mind, we have a new king, but there already is a king. He's just somewhere like in the freaking backyard, kind of doing whatever he's doing. So like, hey yo, you know what I mean? So I mean, again, is it possible? Like I don't know, but my thought process is like it's a possibility. So yeah. I almost played 14 yesterday. I had a friend group I knew for 3 years. I got into voice chat with them and they played a female character. They thought I was a girl to find out I was a guy. They kicked me out of the group. LOL. But I'm staying strong, trying to find a new server. Was thinking Crystal. Wait. You almost quit 14 because you had a friend group that you knew for like a long time that thought you were a female because your character was female. When they found that you were a guy, they got rid of you? Okay, first and foremost, I'm really sorry to hear about that. And also, that's a fucking L. So that being said, though, welcome here. You know what I mean? Because first of all, that's stupid. Because yo, I'm about to like crash out. So let me just like not do that. I want to talk about like lore and yap about lore, not about the toxicity about 14. Because if I do that, ooh, I'm gonna need to go pour a drink. So that being said, uh, I'm a guy 90%. Yo, whatever you do, do not pin that. All right? I'm just warning you. Don't yo, this fucking horseshit, bro. Anyways, so the only reason why I feel that is because that happened to me too. Unfortunately, because my character in game is female. I didn't pin it. A mod pinned it. Okay, there's a thingy that can pin messages that involve my name, and it wasn't me. It was the bot. All right, so like yo, GG's. Anyways, get out of here. No, so that happened to me too. My early days of playing 14. Like I designed my character um with inspiration to like my mom, for example. Very sweet story, you know what I mean? But the problem with with the social world of video gaming in general is that like there's no way to depict age in this game unless like Lalafell, which even still like whatever. So again, because my character in the eyes of some dickhead thought that my character was hot, therefore I'm a hot girl, and I'm like, yo, delusional. So I understand that situation, honestly. It's really annoying. So I'm really sorry that you had to kind of go through that situation. Because in my mind, realistically, you should never have to think about the idea that like somebody would judge you for your character versus like your personality. You know what I mean? So, also don't sus boom me. All right, like yo, what's up, bro? No lubbers? What does that mean? I play a bun girl named Gamer Girl Yandere. Well, I mean,
¡Stamos! ¡Go!
yo, the timing in this stream by the community is so ridiculous. Oh, oh my fucking god. I hate it here, dog. Oh, that's like an emote thing? Oh, I see. I see. Okay, there you go. Congratulations. Add it, please. Okay, okay. I understand. I understand. I didn't understand. I'm like, what the heck is lubbers? But now I get it. Okay, okay, okay. You're welcome. There you go. Anyways, yeah, man.
Hello
So
there.
listen, it's nice when you can play a social game like 14 and then not go into any assumption that you see a female character and assume that it's played by a female. That's why some people that are female IRL play male characters and like vice versa. Um, but also thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. Welcome on in. Very safe space for sure. But the most important thing to keep in mind, of course, is like, finding, listen, unfortunately, friends, depending on what their intentions are, they come and go. So you're gonna end up meeting people whether you want to or not, and they're gonna end up having like a string attached. You know what I mean? So, did you boot my nose again? I'll kill you. All right. Metaphorical. All right. So, yeah. If like, cause me, like, here's my thing, right? With my cheek, it doesn't matter. You keep boop, you keep booping me in the middle of my conversation, and it's distracting. All right. Also, there's like a freaking there's a like a mosquito somewhere around here. I'm trying to catch that motherfucker. It said nose. I think I got booped in the. I booped because I'm fly. I hope you fly out the window and I close it and you can't come back in. Because, freaking stinging me like a bee potential situation. Scary, actually. Hi, Dodie. What's up, bro? Anywho. Yeah, so realistically.
His name is
Oh,
John
my.
C.
Can I drop kick? What the f.
I hope you like pain.
The fact that just there's random emotes being added to my stream against my will is not is crazy, actually. Anywho, this should be trolling. Yo, trust me, it gets kind of chaotic in here. So like, just be forewarned. But no, it's all for the intention of good laugh and good times. You know what I mean? So, lubbers. All right. Anywho, as my point was beforehand, trust me, I think that realistically, if you ever, my personal like perception is now. Let me just preface, okay? Yo, ally, okay? We love the LGBT, but I'm also like blind when it comes to that. So for me, it's he, she, until you tell me anything else in this game, especially. So if someone is like, "Oh, by the way, my pronouns are they them," I'm like, "Okay, cool, got you, understood." Or he, she, or whatever, whatever that it is. Like, I like knowing after the fact when I'm like incorrect. But if I'm looking at a character in game, I picked the first two because it's the quickest one to 50-50, right? So if I see a female character, I'm like, "Yo, she," until someone's like, "Yo," and I'm like, "Oh, he," and they're like, "No, she, them." I'm like, "Okay, understood." You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter what person is behind the freaking keyboard or controller. I just assume whatever I see is what I assume. And until you say, by the way, this is what I am, I'm like, all right, understood. And then that's it. We just keep the conversation moving forward with the train. So, you know what I'm saying? That's my point. And thank you, Rar. So, realistically, I think that that's the way that it should be perceived by everybody. Although, that being said, though, it's like a different world. Canceled? No, don't you dare. Um, I think that being said, though, I've met people that I'm like, oh, trans. Oh, okay, thank you. I would have never guessed because I don't assume. So in that case scenario, same thing. I mean, what's up, Ladora? How are you doing this evening? What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome on in. So I don't assume anybody's gender in any capacity whatsoever until you physically use your words and type like, yo, by the way, this is what I am. Otherwise, I look at the character model in game and I'm like, cool. Or the adventure plate, because sometimes people's adventure plates also say like, oh, their pronouns, and I'm like, okay, I get it. But because again, like I've had people also tell me too, like same shit, where they're like, "Oh, your girl's a female character, Highlander or Thailander. Cool, she's hot, so you're hot." And I'm like, "What's up?" And then they're like, "Oh," and then they just go fuck off somewhere else. You know what I mean? So, trust me, I can't stand when the profiling thing is like whatever that it is. My gender is whatever people feel like calling me at the time. I mean, again, I don't really. I don't assume. I like when I go into party chat and I'm doing like a raid or something, and then instead of being like the gunbreaker, they'll be like she, and I'm like, good, because you don't got to assume that it's a guy behind the wheels of a female character. You look at the character that you see in game, and you take your shot. So I don't mind that people are like, oh yeah, the character Adele, she's like a cool gun, she's like a good gunbreaker, and I'm like, all right, I'm a guy IRL, but like, yo, what's up, you know? So either way though, um, I've never gone into the game and looked at like a Makote and took a gander and be like, yo, definitely look a guy player. Like I still have no idea. If I log into the game and look at like a bunch of characters in Limsa, I couldn't tell you who's playing what gender. So I just take a look at whatever gender that it's supposed to be type shit. Uh so yeah. Yeah, you know. Identify as spin to win. Hell yeah. You know what I mean? So I think it just sucks that you meet friends and then they have like an assumption and then they're wrong, but then they kind of like oust you for that, you know. I think that really sucks, because realistically, if I personally ever entered an opportunity where like I could go to something like TwitchCon or FanFest or like PAX or something, and then people are like, yo, are you gonna be at PAX or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, and then we like meet IRL, and then like I know, for example, Kayla, if she's here, if not, then like whatever, because she probably went to bed. But she already confirmed with me that she is a woman and married, by the way, which like, yo, W marriage. But like if she was like, oh yeah, like if I see you at PAX, like, you know, we can like hang out and like go get like food or something. And I'm like, yeah, sounds good. So if I ever see her, I can't even like assume anything about what she physically looks like except for the fact that she's a woman. That's all that I know. You know what I mean? And I've already had the pleasure of meeting people through like the power of streaming and whatever. And I'm like, oh, you're yo, and then we freaking dab, and then we hug it out, and then we go get food, and then we just like part ways when the day is over. Like that's it. There's not got to be like a string attached to it. So it really sucks when people put like a string attached to things. You know what I mean? I think that's just like really annoying because like, you know, like whatever. So unfortunately, that's just what it is though. So it sucks. I'm gonna to bet. Yo, me too. Honestly, I would have gone to the previous Fan Fest if I won the dang lottery, but I didn't win. So I tried going to the EU one and the NA one, and I lost both. So it was like fine. Japan, however, I'd be scared of going to Japan just because I don't know the friggin' language. So I'd be so terrified of it. Um, but like, yeah, you know, the same thing. Like take Jeannie for example. You know, yo, first of all, follow Jeannie. She's an incredible dancer and she plays raiding and she's god tier. So like, what's up? If I assumed Jeannie was like a female and she's like, cool, I'm a female, I'm like, all right, well, you know, freaking one for one. Yeah, that's it. We move on. But like, also, I don't know anything about Jeannie outside of the fact that she's a dancer player that plays 14 from Australia. You know what I mean? So realistically, um, if I learn more information about Jeannie by like asking her personal questions, then that information I just kind of do what I do. You know what I mean? Um, but that doesn't mean that I gotta like put like an intention behind it. Like if Jeannie was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I'm like married with 2 kids," I'm like, "Oh, word, that's awesome," and then that's it. People usually be like, "Oh, that's cool. By the way, here's my freaking number," and then call me maybe, and it's like, ew, you know what I mean? Now, I mean, that being said, though, sometimes you can hit the freaking number out, and then they actually want to call you back, and it's like actually like a nice thing. So, but that doesn't mean that there's like an intention behind it. Sometimes you want to just like meet friends. No, 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 no. I'm not gonna get canceled over some freaking example. Stop it. Through the power of gaming and streaming, I dubbed this a fun day. I think that's a good thing, you know? Hell yeah. So I'm glad to hear it, you know? It's actually really cool. So also, I like that we still have this like up here.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
No. We're not even in Party Finder. That being said though, yo, tell me right now that you're not scared of what's in front of you right here. Yo, I'm scared. If that thing explodes, GG's, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Yo, GG's. We won't be seeing you. Yo, everybody friggin' dead. That's terrifying. There better be like a golden yan. Yo, imagine actually. I might be sold. Gold cat of boom. Is that a giant gimme cat? It sure is. Yeah, this is from the new dungeon map. The new treasure dungeon. Yeah. So we're literally gonna get like a friggin' new treasure map. And they got a freaking gimme cat. So hilarious, you know. I don't want it. You know what I mean? Hell yeah. Seeing that in the special site, I knew the Yan was from Treasure Maps. Well, it's funny though, because people were kind of unsure about the thing with it being in like Unreal. I kind of wish it was in Unreal, because I think that the Party Finder would have more like Unreal Trial PFs than Ultimates and Savage Raids combined, because everyone wants the Yan mount. But then again, we shall see. Can I call it a night and get up at decent hour to get started? Hell yeah, brother. Thank you for hanging out, Claw. Hope you have a good night, man. Take care of yourself and rest well. Yeah. Slot machines are treasure maps. Yeah, I mean, listen. If there's one thing that people love in video games, it's gambling. So treasure map literally hitting you with slot gambling is the most gambling it could possibly be. Where you're gonna stare at the thing and potentially get like a win, and oh boy. So yeah, you know. That being said, I already know that the dress that I want is also tied to maps. So I'm telling you right now, whatever day that I'm not doing the extreme trial or MSQ or anything else for that matter, we doing this. I need the dress, and I mean this literally, no quotation marks, in all caps, desperately, okay? Desperately need that yellow dress as like a glam thing. That's going to be one of the first things I check when I log in. We're going to do some map farming crazy amounts. Because the cool thing about the patch, I understand that people are like, oh my god, there's nothing to do. But that's not true though, you know what I mean? And also, Jeannie, if we could get a chance, yo, we should go to Materia and do maps together. You know what I mean? Because we could do that. I'm just saying. We could have like a collab and do some maps. I'm just saying. I would travel to Materia to do maps if I could do them with Genevieve Lucy 14. Facts to my name, all right? Yo, don't even sweat it. I promise you we'll make it happen. Everyone can go to my family. Yeah, exactly. I think that'd be really cool, you know? Because, like, Jeannie's been, like, a great supporter of our stream and, like, vice versa. You know, we love her dearly. So, of course, like, the cool thing is that we're not stuck on this weird collaboration, like, discourse that we can't content together. Thankfully, we can. Can we please? You see, what I love is that everyone's getting hype about it. Hell yeah, brother. We'll definitely find a time that we can do it when there's not. Yo, we'll do like a weekend thing where like staying up late is the biggest like who gives a crap, and like yo, we just sling maps together for sure, for sure. I'm down for that. Yeah. If it's possible to do it this weekend, we'll try to shoot for this weekend. We'll see. You know. Otherwise, if not, then like yo, we'll find a time. Like you know, this we have 19 weeks to fuck around and do whatever we want. So yeah, we can find a weekend time, because I know that Genie's still doing M8, and I know that we're like technically done with M8, but we're probably gonna go back anyways. And but yeah, I mean for me, here's my thing, right? The patches. Are you staying up for patch? No. I'm gonna be heading out in a little bit. We're just you know like yapping. I'm not staying up for another 4 hours to log in. I will be so burnt out. But that being said, though, if you do decide to wake up at 6 a.m. to do the MSQ and the EX trial, then definitely have fun. But don't tell me like a goddamn thing, because I'm staying spoiler empty from all the blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Weak? All right. Yeah. You know why? Because I'm 54 years old, brother. I need my freaking grandpa nap, all right? Yo, unk status for real, all right? So, good luck. But yeah, anyways. Yeah, no. I don't want to be up until like that late, honestly. I hate seeing the sunrise when I'm like awake, and then because then imagine I go to bed at like 7 and wake up and it's like 4 p.m. Brother, the day's over. You know what I mean? But that being said though, I have my checklist ready to go. And did you hear XYZ happen in 7.3? Ban that guy. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, so I have this little post-it note here. Now that being said though, we can delete patch notes and PvP. Oh wait, look. You know what's crazy? Yo, look at my guesses. We can cross this off actually. We actually opened the patch notes and went through all the changes for PvP and PvE and looking for reworks, and we were incorrect. I was expecting Dark Knight, Machinist, Bard, Picto, Red Mage, White Mage, or Sage, and we were 0 of 7. Instead, we got Reaper Lamau. So there you go. Monday was the last level of static, but yeah, it cleared 2 weeks ago. Oh shit, GG's. Holy shit. I thought you were still like, oh, you're trying to clear with the static. Gotcha. I want to say that, but my brother is such a light sleeper that a mouse could fart in the house next door and we'd all jolt awake. If a mouse farts in my house, he can keep the house, because that would scare the fuck out of me. I ain't gonna lie to you. The only thing running in my entire house right now is just like my air unit for the cool air. Otherwise, like there's no audio anywhere. So if I hear anything, GG's, all right? But like yeah. But anyways, yeah, so these are all of my notes that I have prepped up for 7.3. So tomorrow morning, I do want to kind of like emphasize this again since we're kind of reaching like the little bit of the end point of stream. Even though I know it's at 25 minutes, but you know, freaking crash, stupid. My goal is I'm gonna wake up tomorrow morning, get like some breakfast and coffee, some water, we'll chill out, we'll do our thing. And then I will be waking up in the morning and we're gonna just kind of go through this checklist. My character on Ether is logged out at Rogers. I want to check and see if the rumor I heard is true. So we're gonna look at the weapons for Yukab and Uwu, and then we'll look at the weapons for Viper, Picto, and Ultra Vest because they don't have them. And then we'll go check out T, and then DSR, and then we'll check the vendors for all of these Shadowbringers and Endwalker trials for and look for Picto Picto Viper weapons. Genie, will you stream once Gramps passes out? You talking about me? Yo. You saw that? I smell something over here happening crazy, actually. Don't you call me Gramps over here. Anyways, yeah. So that's my check for the relics, the trials, and the savage weapons, as well as the ultimates. So there's that. Then I want to go check out the crafting.
Oh yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman.
You're funny, all right? You're funny. Thank you for that. As I was saying before being rudely interrupted, I want to check the market board for the crafting and gathering gear, and then we need to check this. This is so important. What the fuck was that? Yeah, that's people making Grandpa me. I mean, listen, I told you, 54 years old, bro. And that video that's me. You know what I'm saying? What can I tell you? I don't know. That's just me. Don't play it again. But anyways, yeah, I want to see what the crafted extreme weapon is on the market board. It better be Endsinger. If it's not Endsinger, I'm gonna crash out. And then we check out the map's crafted gear, and I just need to check if the dress is what I think it is, and I pray that it is, and if it is, W, and if not, whatever. All right. All right. Then we go look for the fashion. I don't know where the Riot fashion accessory would be, actually. I haven't thought about it. In my mind, I was thinking of either the achievements thing or gold saucer, but I don't think they actually said where to get it from. So I'm kind of curious, actually. Only older than me by like a year or two. Hey, I just work here, you know what I mean? Like, don't 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 hurt me. I just work here. Hey, new Alice video tomorrow. Why? Also, why? Because like that girl got OCD to the max. You know what I mean? He's talking about the Zelda Zero, by the way. All right, and then we check out all the trophy crystal and wolfmark vendors because all that gear is double dieable. You said yesterday, yeah, but we watched it yesterday, and you weren't here. So, yo, Sazu, back me up. Anyways, so we'll check out the trophy crystal and the wolfmark gears and see what that double die stuff looks like. And then we know for sure that the series pass is the glam set. See, check my resume, bruh. Yo, I want 1,000 gil when you log in tomorrow. All right. But yeah, the problem is a new video. So, anyways, yeah. The series 25 reward will be the that like really cool like green set, whatever. But I don't know what the 10, 20, 5, and 15 reward is. Actually, the 5 reward should be the writing emote. There's like a new like writing emote. That should be the PvP 5 reward. So that emote will be really easy to get. And then everything else will figure it out later on. It doesn't count because I wasn't here. So now we watch both. Smiles. And then we go look at a bunch of the options for PvP and Stormblood stuff, double die stuff. and then we figure out chat bubbles. The mounting change I'm kind of curious about. We'll figure out Phoenix Down stuff, and then we'll check out some quality of life, and then we'll look at a bunch of other vendors and figure out like just what is there out there, and then we go from there. So that is the plan for tomorrow's morning stream. Then there will be a time where I turn stream off temporarily to record spoilerless, spoiler free, the MSQ, because I gotta watch it. That being said, though, I will be posting in my Discord. If people are around, I need 7 people, preferably more than 7. Or sorry, more better than what I'd find in Party Finder, because I'm gonna be main tanking it. So all I need is at least one person to off tank it with me. But that being said, though, I'll take as many people as wants to join. I will make an announcement in Discord if anybody wants to join, and if you do join, then I will, in the recording video, your name will be displayed in the you know what I mean? So there's that too. And then we'll find out. But otherwise, yeah. Chinese official government is a wild name. Bump all the cyberpunk streetwear, snooze glam, and give me my Shadowstalker reruns. I mean, that's just PvP gear, no? So what time? I'm gonna be doing MSQ. I'm gonna try and do it before 7 o'clock. So I'll probably stream from like say 11 to like 2:30, maybe like 3, and then I will do normal trial, not extreme. I will do normal trial, maybe around like 6 o'clock, maybe. I'm gonna aim for that time, and then which tank? I'm gonna play Gunbreaker. But that being said, though, I don't care that we can play 2 Gunbreakers. It doesn't matter. I mean, I plan to play Gunbreaker, but that's just because my entire Dawn Trail playthrough was me playing Gunbreaker. So I'm gonna play Gunbreaker. It don't gotta. You can play whatever you want. I don't really care. Like we can have freaking 2 Gunbreakers and 3 white mages and 4. I don't care. Like it doesn't matter. The comp is relevant. It don't gotta be like special comp. We gotta just do normal trial. The normal trial. So yeah, we'll do normal trial. And then like I said, we'll just run the content. I will do a countdown. We pulled it. We do GG's, figure it out. We react, vibe, die, wipe, whatever. And then we find out later on. And that's all there's to it. And then after that, everyone leaves the party. And then I finish the MSQ, and then I finish the MSQ for sure. And then I'll turn my stream back on, and then I have Homie Alliance raid from starting at 8 o'clock. And then I think that party is full. So there's that. And then afterwards, I will probably be running like a bunch of PvP, maybe some maps, and then I will probably unlock the Alliance raid on my other character, and then like same kind of rule, if anybody wants to do the Alliance raid another time or their first time, then we can go do it on stream twice over, and then we'll just like kind of vibe about that. And then for the rest of the week, we kind of chill, but I will find a time to do the extreme blind. We'll do the extreme blind, and then we'll figure that out. And then same rules apply. If you want to be featured in the blind video, we do need like a proper comp for that. But then also, if you do join for the blind prog, whether you've already seen the fight or not, it doesn't matter. Don't say a goddamn word. I take the spoiler thing so seriously. It's crazy, actually, right? So realistically, if you join and you are properly not ruining my blind, then your name will be in the eventual YouTube video. You know what I mean? So in case you want some like brownie points. And then after that, once I actually get my videos for all of that content, afterwards, spoiler me, I don't care anymore. Like it doesn't matter. But until I see what I want to see, I don't want a single spoiler about anything. So that includes Alliance Raid, Trial, MSQ Dungeon, and Extreme Trial. I think that's it actually. Because we don't get Moon until like a couple weeks after, and then we don't get Deep Dungeon until like way later. And then we are going to be doing Deep Dungeon blind as well. But that's much more lenient because like I'm gonna get 3 homies. We'll go do Deep Dungeon like far in the future, and then like whatever happens. I don't care. But I will stream my entire time of doing Deep Dungeon. And same thing for doing the Quantum Raid. So it should be a good time, bro. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah. That's my whole spiel. That being said, though, if you want the Shadowstalker gear, just simply go do PvP, you know what I mean? I kind of want that gear. I didn't realize I never had it, because I used to do a lot of rank matches, and I'm shocked that I never actually, like, won that coffer. But I forget how to actually do it. How can I stream MSQ? Because everyone throws the memes up, and you know what I mean. So like, here's my thing. This is what my experience was with previous because when I was doing my Endwalker stream of the MSQ, it was I just didn't want to talk to anyone, and I wanted to slowly go through the cutscenes. Yeah, like the memes, like the when you see like Grandpa Me, the puffer fish, like all that stuff. You know what I mean? So like this one, like I'd have to turn them on all off firstly, and then I'd have to turn off everything, and also like I'd have to like I don't want to read chat while I do the MSQ. Yeah. So like I just want to like solely do the story and have like zero distractions, because while I was doing Endwalker's MSQ, there was a point in time where people were like, "Oh, have you checked out Reaper?" And I'm in the middle of a fucking cutscene, so it's like I don't want to read that comment. You know what I mean? So I just feel really bad if I feel like really bad if I like ignore people for the sake of the lore thing. So for me, it's just a lot easier if I do the lore thing privately by myself, and that way I can put like full focus into it. Because even though technically like none of my story mode stuff for Dawn Trail has actually been put on the YouTube channel. So but that's because I gotta edit the early Dawn Trail stuff, which really I had like such terrible editing problems, so I had to do so much editing in the future. But anyways, yeah. That's my whole thingy. So anyways, yeah, my plan is to record it offline, and then I'll upload it. But then once I upload it, then we're like good to go. And after, I don't care about spoilers. But I mean, I won't tell anybody anything. But yeah, so you can take it in properly. I think that's why Dontra for me was so confusing, because I was streaming and not paying attention. Right, and that was my thing too. That's why like a lot of people who are like oh, like, I didn't like Dawn Trail. Like to me, like because I had like a private run through with it. Like it made me like emotional. Like I cried quite a decent amount during my Dawn Trail playthrough. So like there's that too. My friend confirmed what I wasn't hoping in regards to MSQ, and I'm disappointed. What? You were hoping for something in MSQ and it didn't happen, so you're disappointed? Interesting. I don't know what that means, but like, okay, sure. I'm all 100 on every class I ran out of stuff to do. I mean, there's always the achievements, honestly. So every time I hear somebody that's like, I got nothing to do, yo, go look at the achievements. Good luck. Just do the achievements. But yeah. What's up, Panda? Long time no see, brother. Yeah, 4 years. What's up? What's up? But yeah. For me, the thing is that I have multiple characters. So if I finish maxing out one character, I just like pick another one. So for me, that's my goal at least, to just work on my character stuff. Yeah. I won't say any more for you, so that's because spoilers. Thank you. Wait, are you telling me that there's already story spoilers revealed about the BS for 7.3? No shot. No one's actually gone through it, yo. No? I don't know. How you been, bro? I've been chilling, man. I've been trying to take it easy, of course. So we doing good, you know. I will say I'm thankful that people like to listen to me yap at 2 in the morning. So, anywho, I kind of just like to chill otherwise. So we hanging in there, you know. Oh, data mine got to work. Okay, cool. That being said, yeah, I wouldn't, because I'm not gonna like plug nothing crazy, because like I also have one of those. You know what I'm saying? And they're like yeah, I'm not gonna tell you like a goddamn word. The only thing that they may do is like let me know about like for example, I knew about the Fruglow, and they were like, yo, do you want the Fruglow? And I was like, hit me. And then they showed me, and I was like, oh shit, that's cool. And then that was it. Because like the friend that I know is like they also go look at the bullshit, and I don't like to know. And I'm sure if I go check my Discord, there's probably a DM somewhere when they're like, yo, here's information in case you want it, spoiler alert. And I'm like, no, I'm good though. Pick to update. The DPS loss is huge, whopping, absolutely devastating. It's 0.0% for 7.2. Everyone going to be swapping a black mage over this travesty. Oh my god. Is it actually 0.1%? See, like, if you tell me damage-wise things, that I can give a crap about. I don't care about which job is meta, not meta, blah, 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 whatever. That I don't care. What I do care about is, like, aesthetic things or story things, usually. So, like, for example, the crafted EX weapon, if that information's been revealed, shh. Did Picto get nerfed again? No, it got, like, a miniature reorganizer. You know how back in 7.2/1 where, the hammer combo was used in the burst window, and then 7.2 they didn't have the hammer combo in the burst window. You can do like 2 black combos. They just changed it. They put it back to what it was. So they made the hammer combo stronger and all the other spells weaker, so that you can use hammer in burst. That being said, though, I'm like pretty sure you do hammer 1 into burst window subtractive, and then you do the black spells comet 1, and then hammer, and then subtractive comet 2, and then hammer star prism drip, and then you're done. So it's just the it's the current burst window that you have for 7.2, except like you actually need to like use hammer. So hammer is actually important. Actually, you now want to use all 3 hammers in burst again. Oh, okay. That's cool then. I mean, I don't care. Whatever that it is. Oh, I guess my question, because the thing is, like, for me, the tricky thing that I would have to figure out is how do you enter the burst window in my mind? Because in my mind, I'm thinking that like you wait, let me think. 3 hammers, comet, spell, drip, rainbow, right? So like, can't you fit 8? Can you fit 8 or 9 in the burst window for Picto? Is it? I think it's 9 because the speed cast, right, is like an extra fast one. So in my mind, I'm thinking like you enter burst with cyan. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, so you do it's 9 but it's tight. Yeah, okay. That's what I figured. Yeah, so you do want to do cyan, yellow, magenta, 3 hammers, star prism, comet, and drip in wait, 3 hammers, 3 colors. Drip. Oh, and 1. Wait, you don't use 2 comets? I mean, because I figured you would do cyan into starry into comet and then use yellow thingy. Listen, I don't play Picto. I'm stupid, all right? Cyan, weave, starry, KYMK, H1, H2, H3, prism, and wave rainbow. Oh, okay. Yeah. So you do cyan into buff, then you do comet, yellow, magenta, comet, hammer 1, 2, 3, prism, and then rainbow. Got it. Okay, yeah. So it is the actual the intended 7.1 burst window, but with 7.2 damage, except you skip yeah, you do cyan into buff. Okay. Oh yeah, if you haven't, patch is live. Server's still down. Oh yeah. The download is available. 10 gigs is kind of heavy though. So I mean, that's why I was kind of like, oh shoot. Because people were kind of like telling me the same thing, like it's a 10 gig download, which is kind of thicky. So I mean, like, hey yo, you know what I mean? Yeah, I know. I kind of was unsure about it myself as well. But I mean, yo, it's cool. It's right there. We're chilling. That being said, though, we only got like 3.5 hours before the server's back up. So, let's say we all kind of head to bed, get like some early sleepies. You know what I'm saying? And then, I mean, I know some of you nerds are gonna wake up at like 6 in the morning and start getting ready. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go catch like a Z or 6, and then I'm also gonna wake up at like, I should wake up around like 9 or 10, and then I'll probably go live around like 11. I think like 11ish, and then yeah, we shoot until like 2ish, and then we just crash out in MSQ. I just woke up. Yeah, good luck, brother. I can't help you there because I will not be awake until 6 in the morning. If I see the sun come up, I did that in Endwalker and I was so mad. Yo, I did a 20-hour stream day 1 Endwalker. Holy mac, that was crazy actually. So yeah, like, and also like if the DMers are also already in the process of looking at the bullshit, I'm not trying to be seen finding any of that information like on my person, because like I said, I'll be mad honestly, because I literally already have like a I have like a blah blah blah, what's it called? I'm in a Discord, and there's a spoiler tag, and it literally has 30 app messages. So I already understand that like there's a lot of crap on the process. So I'm really not trying to click on anything in a Discord or the internet right now. I'm gonna get in trouble and get mad at myself. So, well, that's what I want to do. That's why like tomorrow, tomorrow the plan was to look at the patch notes, but again, getting 7 DMs about the patch notes was like, yo, look at this. And I'm like, fine. So yeah, we need Tuck. What the fuck is that? Oh, it's an emote? Why the fuck is that an emote? Oh my god, that's really funny, actually. We need Tuck is such a funny comment. Also, 7 hours ago, bro, we've been live for like 7 hours. Actually, no. Yeah, yeah, something like that. Gotta tuck the homies in. True, true. What about the bedtime story, though? You know what I'm saying? It's just really funny to me that people were doom posting over picto changes and they managed to not change its DPS at all. Like the simulators, the balance folks used to make gear can't even detect this small of a change. That's why the simulation thing, you got to be mindful about that. I understand that the balance is like a huge like thing of like blah 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 whatever, but I also try to remind people sometimes to like not really always use the balance. It's like the balance is a great resource guide to getting started in things, but it's not like the Bible. You know what I mean? It's not the 14 Bible of how to optimize. However, though, I will say there are a lot of I'm not like a mentor. And also I don't want to make it sound as if like this is like a jab at the balance, but there's a point in time where I've evolved as a player where the balance was an incredible resource for me, and then eventually I stopped relying on the balance like right away, you know? Like I don't look at the balance anymore in terms of gear, for example. Like I don't refer to the balance at all with gear. I do my own gear stat number blah 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 stuff. I take like an idea though about like what it was like hypothetically, for example, but like that's as far as it goes though. Otherwise, like no. And then for burst windows and like openers and all that stuff, I like to discover it first until I'm like, what the fuck is this? So like that becomes kind of like a situation too. That's why I felt really proud of myself when I discovered my own like burst window for Viper at the very beginning of the patch. Because I sat down with Viper and I was like, yo, like this job is really cool. And then I was like, oh, I guess you can do like this thing like a speed buff, then get the power buff, and then before GCD seems like wrong. So like let me get the let me get like the three. I would actually open with Dreadwinder and like a Dreadwinder potion serpent and then do Swift into Hunters and then reawaken. And I was like, yeah, I think that this is it. And then I looked at the balance by comparison and I was like, nope, that's not what it is. And that was all that was. So yeah. Otherwise though, look, yeah, I don't if people are doom posting about stuff in the balance, I ignore it, honestly. It's already like bad enough that there's doom posting in any like 14 Discord that involves like a social public audience, you know what I mean? Because that happened unfortunately in the NAR Discord, which is the North American Ultimate Rating Discord. That's the full name, hilariously enough. And also the Radar Discord, if you know, you know. So, like I said, I try to avoid those circles sometimes. I just feel like it's not like my cup of tea personally. But also because I like the discovery. If I was a casual player, like yeah, sure, like I get it though. But like yeah, I mean, I play Dancer. I just do what I always do, but just add new buttons. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, I didn't. I knew what job I wanted to play very quickly, and it just made sense to me the change that they made with the role in mind that I was playing with, like Gunbreaker, for example. Like Gunbreaker, I was like, oh yeah, like I'm literally playing Gunbreaker. It's the same exact thing, but instead of triple burst strike, I just use Lionheart combo, and I'm like, that's godlike. That's it. But that being said, yeah, I kind of knew that like a lot of the jobs were not getting like dramatic changes unless they did get one. Like the Dancer change, Talana confused me. I was like, why is Talana like a friggin' slow move? Oh, but it gave me 50 gauge. Oh, and then I was like, okay, cool. So, but yeah, I wanted to see if hammers were a gain now, and I had to scroll through people complaining to look for the math. Well, and I think that's like really annoying. You know what I mean? Like something to check so simple. If there was like a post where they were like a post, what the hell was that word? A post where like, oh yeah, TLDR, use this combo and like you're chilling, GG's. That's all that you were like really looking for. But instead, people were complaining like, man, I don't get to get Opti anymore. Some shit. It's kind of annoying. I'm still waiting for the three button red mage melee combo to be one button, like they can be used out of order. Well, the funny thing is like, if you don't know this, there is hilarious optimization to actually keep them separated. It's very, very minuscule, but there is optimization to actually not having them be under one button. In a theoretical construct, like of course you never want to, because like why would you break your combo? It's stupid. But there is an opportunity where Red Mage can actually break the melee combo and do a very specific gimmicky thing that lets them get the like the spell combo out, basically. Because you don't gotta use the combos in order to activate the Verflare, for example. You can use like 3 of the Zhuoshaos, and that's tech. So you can like do like a resource save. I mean, it's not damage up, but sometimes when you try to get the spell out faster, but you wouldn't because it wouldn't come out in time for the like Redoublement into a Verflare, for example. Like you would do just triple Zhuoshao, and then you can actually get the combo out, for example. That mattered in DSR like way back in the day. It doesn't matter anymore, but early DSR you did have to do that because of the I think the gear at the time had spell speed and it was like really weird. Something like that. I don't remember the exact details, but I remember a red mage was like, "Oh, you can't do the normal melee combo. You like lose it." And I was like, "What the fuck?" So yeah. And also back then, like they doubled your oh no, they added 50 mana gauge to your thing. So you used to also use magnification on cooldown. Now you don't want to do that anymore. But either way though, I don't so my biggest concern about 8.0 is the whole like combining buttons into one button thing. I'm really nervous about that. I kind of sort of don't want it, but it's just because I spent so many years playing it like that, where it's like a change that I'm not mentally ready to deal with. PvP is different though, because in PvP you only have like 7 buttons to play with, but in PvE there's more like, what is it, friggin' like 32. So like it's weird. That being said though, if the buttons made sense for the thing, like I won't be mad about it, but I'd still be like, man, because I don't like having to change my hotbar dramatically so often with jobs when I enter like a new expansion. I had to change the hell out of my gunbreaker rotation or my hotbars for my controller. It was really annoying. And the problem is that I don't even like my gunbreaker's hotbar. But I gotta deal with it because I like the buttons to be separated. I don't like them in one place. Yeah. 8.0, all classes have 5 buttons, 1 for basic combo, 1 personal buff, 1 party buff, arms length, short cast, and 1 mid. I would crash out so hard. But that being said though, hot take, I'm kind of expecting them to add party buffs to jobs that don't got party buffs, you know? Except for like the melees and the caster. I think that so that's why Machinist I was expecting to get a rework. I thought that I mean not this patch, but I'm expecting Machinist to get like a party buff in the future. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but like I'm just saying. I think that it's a possibility. So yeah. But like I don't know. That being said though, the Reaper change is like still like Keklam out of me. I can't wait to. I know for sure I'm gonna have to like look into it. I might mess around with the Reaper buff, the Reaper rework a little bit and like figure out if it's like a really big rework or like how it works at like level 80. Yo, it sounds insane to me actually, so I'm kind of curious. Yeah. So we'll see. But the more that I talk, the more that we stay up, and then I don't get tucked into bed. So I'm trying to get tucked into bed, you know what I'm saying? So, anywho. If Machinist gets 1, I see it being 1 like Ninja and Scholar. Agreed. I don't think that it'll be like a 3% increase thing. It's gonna either decrease thing or it's gonna be like a critical hit increase rate direct hit thing. Absolutely. I'm super content with that too. I don't think that it needs like a increased percentage thing. It should be like a crit direct thing like Scholar. That would be godlike. So, but I think that if you do that though, it starts to make a little bit of more sense why Machinist is allowed to be so low if it's got like a party buff as strong as Scholars, because like Scholar buff is disgustingly powerful. And Machinist used to have that kind of buff, and then like yeah. So yeah, we'll find out in the distant future. I'm expecting it though. My copium is 3690, 2180 for come back. I don't think they'd ever bring back 180, but I can see them bringing back 30, 60, 45, 90, 120. and making that be the variance. We don't need 3 minutes. But I would be really content with 30, 45, 60, 90, 120. That would be really nice, actually. But she's getting a debuff would actually be nice for flavor. Yeah, I mean, I think so too. I think that it just makes sense if they did that. Honestly, it's like weird that they wouldn't do that yet. Because I don't know how they've gone through months and months and months of feedback, if not like years of feedback, where people were like, "Yo, Machinist sucks," and they're like, "Yeah, well, I mean, like, yo, GG's." I think that they've been working on a rework thing for Machinist for a long time, but it keeps on getting scrapped, so it's kind of absurd. Rap4, thank you for the follow. Welcome on in. How's it going today? Welcome on in. We're about to actually start closing up shop a little bit, but yeah. Wrench throw, 2 of them. Yo, I mean, shit, I'm down. I also would like for the queen to be like a pet thing and not like a you know, the quote unquote glorious dot as it's called. You know what I mean? I think it'd be really cool if the machinist was like with you. You know how you know kind of how like summoner is right now, where you kind of summon the thing and like it doesn't attack and then you change like the power or whatever. It'd be cool if you can like use the machine and like a tool with the machine, with the queen, and then it like does something to your gun and then like it changes your attacks. Oh, that'd be so sick, dude. I'd be kind of happy about that actually. But yeah. Machines get the 10% to throw 2 wrenches, which insta-kills any enemy, including bosses. Yeah, let me give machines like a freaking Zentetsuken for free. What the f... Hey, yo. But yeah. Anyways. Man, I would like for them to rework Machinist where you like use a tool with the queen and then it actually changes your buttons. But also, I don't know if they'd ever do this. So... they can't change Machinist and turn it into like a different weapon. Like that'd be kind of crazy. But I want there to be a new Fizz range class where it, cause yo, you know what I hate is when Machinist holds the weapon with one hand normally, but it holds it with 2 and it sprints like a freaking like assault rifle. And some weapons just have like that handle, so it looks like it should have like an assault rifle, but like it's not an assault rifle, or like a sniper for that matter. So yeah, man, trust me, Marksman Spite is the most incredible button I've ever pressed in my entire PvP life. So much, in fact, they better turn that gun into a Fizz range class. I think they can do it super easily. They better. It would be god tier. Yo, I will main that class in a heartbeat if they turn sniper into a job and it's a P range that is actually pure damage for like an actual purpose. Because I think that machinist should be a debuff buff job where like it's like a ninja or like a scholar where it decreases like a thing, but still like the acts way that it does. But I mean, brother, I'm still holding it down to the end of my days. Only if the class is Mustadio. I mean, sure, fine, that's fine, I don't care. But all I'm saying is that like if people will agree with me, friggin' Summoner is a caster that acts like a P range, right? So we should just get a P range that acts like a caster. That's what I think. And you can do that with a big ass sniper rifle. I think that'd be so godlike. I would be super happy if they did that. But that being also said, I think to Xenos' point that he made a while ago that he hates Dark Knight's run animation, I think that they should look into the idea of turning animations into things you can acquire in game. I'm kind of shocked that they haven't done that because emotes are a thing, so just change animations. You know what I mean? So I'd be kind of cool with that. Yeah, Heavens were Bard and Machinist. Yeah, exactly. So it used to work that way. Yeah, Machinist and Heavens and Bard back in the day were casters. They were not like P ranges as they are now. They didn't have like a no cast bar thing. They used to have cast bars back in the day. So give me that, but in a Dawn form. Yo, guess what? GGs were sold. I guarantee you it'd be freaking awesome. Because also that Fizz range class has, because you know what you're doing? You end up being able to have a caster class that does lower DPS output for the sake of having like a buff utility thing, which is really cool. But then a P range class that's allowed to be able to be top DPS naturally because it's complicated or it has like a mobility issue. So I like, for example, because in my opinion, I think that Red Mage should not be like a low damage job. It should be somewhere in the middle with the DPS, like the melees rather. Summoner should stay low DPS until they remove res. So there's that. But I don't think that a P range or a caster should suffer because they are P range or caster. Like Bard and Dancer having low damage output, it's kind of annoying, even though they're buff jobs, like sure. But I think that it's okay for a melee to be a low buff job if its utility is like stupid fucking powerful. And that's what Monk is, in my opinion. Like I know that Monk is like mad strong, but I think that with how much utility Monk has, it shouldn't be that strong. So if Monk was somehow like a bad DPS, but also can act almost like a tank and a healer in one kit, then I don't have a problem with Monk being like low DPS. So new PD, breast tax shouldn't exist. I mean, yeah, but also I'm cool with Red Mage and Summoner losing their res if it lets them have more damage, because I think that Red Mage, granted people don't agree to some degree, I think that Red Mage is one of the hardest classes that people can learn to play and learn how to optimize with. And the fact that it's one of the most complicated classes to play and doing as much damage as it does currently is like not good. Summoner, don't care, because Summoner's like currently, as people say, brain dead. But then again, Summoner actually has like a little bit of like uptime complexity that honestly makes sense to me, and I'm really cool with that shit. However, Machinist is harder to play than half the jobs in the game. It's the worst, man. It's the worst DPS. So imagine that shit, you know? Because figuring out like like mental memory for like the battery usage and the hypercharge is like complicated, like low key. Like I won't even hold you. It's kind of complicated, like a little bit. But I do think that Machinist is allowed to be low DPS if it has a stupid ass powerful buff that makes just sense to me. But if this Sniper P range class comes out and it has no utility and it's basically just like a black mage but with a gun, yo, I'm down. Yo, you can make that job number one. I don't care. Yo, if I get to hold a gun with a scope in it and friggin' like you know, sure, hit the little, you know what I mean? And like like a charge rifle? Yo, give me a charge rifle, man. Isn't there like a charge blade in Monster Hunter? Give me that, but in gun form with a cast bar, and let me fucking pew pew, bro. I'm in there actually. GG's. I will play the hell out of that class. That being said, also I think that to stir the pot on somebody get mad at me, I kind of want a caster tank. You know, where you are a tank player and you cast spells. That sounds dumb. And we technically already have that with Paladin, but I want more casting. So yeah. Downside, you can only play Sniper class in first person. What the fuck? Looks at PSO2. Facts! Listen. Facts. What kind of horse are we dealing with that like a caster can't exist in tank form? Yo, skill issue if you can't figure it out. I'm just saying, bro. I think that they should make that a possibility. Next job. Give me either 1 of 3 tanks. Because in theory, we're getting a tank, right? We should either get a spear tank, which is Dragoon. We should get a samurai tank, because that's fire. I want like a Ronin to be god tier, actually. Let me get a Madare in the tank form. Or give me a tank that has like a freaking wand. Give me Doctor Strange tank. Go to Marvel Rivals. Give me that tank. Agamotto, whatever. Boom. But yeah. They should have done that with Dark Knight, but they did. I mean, you know that people think that Dark Knight can't have like an HP down thing for mitigation? And I'm like, incorrect. You know what I mean? Because Dark Knight like loses HP in PvP, and it does naturally also, and people think that it shouldn't have that. It should have that in this game, and people think that it shouldn't have that, and I disagree. I think that it's easy to make it possible for a Dark Knight to have an MP and HP draining thing, and all you got to do is give it a kit that lets it figure it out as a HP and MP recovery thing. You know what I mean? And then the only players that actually know how to do the thing are the players who actually figure it out and study. Because I didn't make this point until I made this point like an eternity ago, and I completely forgot about it. But you know, I mean, I think that like Dark Knight should be like a thing, you know what I mean? It should be like if they rework Dark Knight, I would make an HP thing like an issue. I would actually sacrifice HP for like an MP thing, but then like you can get like a mitigation to like counteract it, sort of thing, you know what I mean? I don't know. That's me though. OG Dark Knight used to use HP abilities and cast 1v level 1 black magic spells. Bruh. But yeah, but think of the healers. They actually have to do work. My god. In respective fairness though, if they take out the res from casters like Summoner and Red Mage, then healing gets a lot harder automatically because then they can't afford to die. Especially in Savage and Ultimates. If they were to ever decide to remove res from Red Mage and Summoner in hardcore content, healing becomes the worst job to die with. Like, yo, Lamau. You know what I mean? It already is because like no one plays, well, not no one, but people will play a lot more Black Mage and Pictor than they do play Summoner and Red Mage. So like imagine they get rid of the res and then like go do Uwu, bro. If you play Uwu and then you got like a Red Mage or a Summoner who does the #1 damage in the game, by the way, then like yo, GG's. You gotta just figure it out. That'd be kind of crazy. So yeah, also like UCOB dying 100 times not gonna be fun no more because you gotta have the healers can't afford to die. Hey yo. So anyways, lots of words, but also like a lot of facts. I will eventually go down a pathway of talking about like crazy what ifs with job design as like a possibility, you know, like, oh, like if you were able to rework a job, like what would you do? You know what I mean? I'm going to look into that as like a thing. I'm kind of curious actually. And I think people would be like, actually this would not work because the circumference of my ace is not going to handle the amount something, bro, you know what I mean? So no, because I genuinely think that Dark Knight, for example, should like lose HP as a way of doing anything or certain things rather. I think the HP decrease thing is really fire, but there should be mitigation to compensate for it because then no other tank has that, including Warrior. So yeah. All right, we were supposed to end like half an hour ago, and so we're doing that starting right now. All right. That being said, though, thank you for watching and tuning in. And thank you for hanging out with me today. Thank you all for the follows. I really appreciate the follows. That's very kind of anybody who followed us today and like hung out with us. And I'm so sorry for the random lag thing. That was really annoying and weird. But of course, as always, we're gonna go find somebody incredible to raid out to who's doing stuff and go hang out with them as we get ready for the
Yeet? What's a yeet?
Yeet.
not that. Not the yeet. However, close enough, you know what I'm saying? So I say have fun. But again, we should be back tomorrow. I'm a shoot for coming back on 11 in the morning. The sooner I go to bed, the earlier I can get up and do the thing. So we'll figure that out. And then yeah, we'll go check all the stuff on the sticky note, and then we'll do some PvP, maybe some like leveling, and then check out some stuff, and then like we'll vibe out, you know. And then I go do MSQ, and then we do Alliance raid that night, and then we'll do more Alliance raids, and then maps maybe, and more PvP. And we'll vibe out, you know what I mean? So that's gonna be it for me today, ladies and gentlemen. But thank you again so much for watching and tuning in. I cannot emphasize how much I appreciate it. We have a Discord if you want to watch it. It's in the scroll down. All the social stuff is down there: YouTube, Discord, Twitter, TikTok, blah blah blah, whatever. I don't really want to promote it because you know I'm not cool enough for that. But if you have an interest, you can check that out. And we're gonna go say hello to a fellow homie. His name is Nick. He actually is a vibe. He's playing World of Warcraft. He's actually a native WoW player who's come to 14, and so he's actually freshly new to 14. He's much more into WoW, so definitely talk to him about World of Warcraft stuff. But he also loves 14, and he's taking it slowly. As far as I'm aware, he's post A Realm Reborn, so don't give him spoilers. But that being said, though, definitely hang out with him and his WoW antics, and I will see everyone in the morning. And then of course be sure to ask any questions if you have any questions. And then other than that, rest well, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Sweet dreams. If it's your birthday tomorrow, happy birthday. And if you want, like I said, we'll be here tomorrow. Alrighty, friends, y'all take care.